Behind all the glamour,
Behind the Lux listings.
a raw take on all things real estate.
All things New York City.
All things us. Okay, we are back with season 3 of Real Talk. And
Hard to believe, season 3.
You know, even more than that, you know what I find amazing? I'm sure we're not the only one, but how did we get the name Real Talk? Is it the kind of thing that you have to, like, are there other people with that same name on the podcast? Let's look into that.
We'll have to look into it. We need to know.
So this season,
Yep.
we are going to do some things a little bit differently. We're going to start having guests. And
We should have a studio audience, maybe.
oh, I like that. Live. I like that.
Let's not get
Do
crazy.
you think we could?
You can run up and down the aisle with your microphone. Dreams come true.
Exactly. Exactly. My Oprah moment. We could get all 15 of our listeners.
Yeah, exactly. All right, wait. So it's what has it been? A couple months since we did this?
Since we recorded our
Yeah.
last one? Yeah, it's been a few months. Yep.
All right. The market's changed a little bit.
The market has definitely shifted.
Yeah.
We're June. We're at,
Almost into July. At this point.
July. So we are ending second quarter, and first quarter was definitely a much stronger market than second quarter. Although we performed okay, but not like first quarter was.
First quarter was really good.
Yeah, continuing from fourth quarter of 2022.
Mm-hmm.
I predict. So let's talk about what we thought was going to happen, what actually happened. But I'll just say for the summer, I think that we've already seen it. We're going to slow a bit.
Yeah.
But I actually think we'll have some business. I don't think it'll be like last summer that came to like a screeching halt.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we'll have some of that summer feeling.
Yeah. I predict we're going to have a slower summer.
Mm-hmm.
And then I really think the fall is going to be.
I agree.
Because I think sellers are going to get realistic. I think sellers are going to, things are going to stay on the market a little bit longer this summer. And then I think people are going to be ready to sell. And this fall, we usually see that meeting of the minds and the buyers get opportunities. So
yeah,
I
think you're right. So what we said in the beginning, and we've said this before, the beginning of the year, what I said was, and I'm not wishing this, I say that every time, but that overall it will be a successful year.
Mm-hmm.
We'll transact, people will transact. However, I think unlike last year, the year before, there was so much activity and volume transacting, but there was excitement around it where now I feel like there's some fear around everything, every deal, and every deal takes a lot more hand-holding. Mm-hmm. But in the end, it gets done.
But
and
it's
we get
almost
it done.
always when there's the fear and the slump, then it becomes busy. And it's like people don't sell and then they get realistic and they sell. So it's like, I think it's a very interesting time to be an agent. And I was just talking to someone who's thinking about getting into the industry. And I'm like, it's a lot of up and downs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we talk about it all the time, but
I think even more where we used to have markets that were, 6 months, a year long.
Yeah.
Now they're like, I feel like the ups and downs are within weeks.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I also think it matters what category you focus on. And I think that's really interesting because for a long time, we saw co-ops really struggling.
Mm-hmm.
And when we would get these weekly reports that, show us what's being done in the market, it always seemed like condos were outpacing co-ops. And they still are, but it really seems like co-ops have started to gain traction.
Well, I think that's because the pricing on co-ops, they're the real value right now. The pricing, if you're realistic and a real seller, you price right for your co-op.
Yeah.
And people realize how much you get for your money.
Right. The space that you get in these co-ops right now and the price per square
foot. The workmanship, the apartments. I mean, these pre-war homes are beautiful and gracious layouts with very large rooms.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. So let's just go off real estate for a moment, talk about what's going on in the world. Well, this is a little bit real estate, but kind of a segue. So
cultural real estate.
Yes, cultural real estate. So vegan NYC landlord.
Did you hear about this?
Yes. That's why I'm bringing it up.
What?
Yeah.
I don't even see how this is legal.
So I started to look into it, but didn't.
I'm gonna see.
Go ahead.
Well, no. So the guy, I mean, I understand what he's saying. He lives in the building. Yeah. He owns the unit. He doesn't eat meat himself, so he doesn't want to smell the meat. So he wants to rent his other apartment to someone that will agree not to cook meat. Right. I get it.
But he is also, he's not saying you can't eat meat in my apartment.
You just can't cook it.
You just can't cook it. So I'm not sure what the legalities of all that is, but it's similar to if you have a kosher kitchen and you only want to rent to people that will keep your home kosher.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
And you don't have to be vegetarian. You can eat meat at the restaurants.
You don't have to be kosher. You just have to keep kosher if you want to rent this home. So yeah, that's interesting. Right. The fact that the landlord's saying, it's not that I'm saying you can't eat meat here, you just can't cook it.
What's the difference? I guess when you think about it, you can say no pets.
Yeah, that's true.
So, no pets, that's no meat.
Right.
I mean,
no pets,
meat.
No meat. There you go.
You know, it's like.
That's what you think of your dogs? They're just meat.
No, but you can say, yeah, I don't know. I guess that kind of breaks down the legality.
Yeah.
All right, this Titanic story has me like.
So, yeah. So I want to talk about this, but I want to be sensitive and appreciate that we're talking about, they keep posting, they have 96 hours. They have 50 hours.
What's left, yeah.
What's left on oxygen that they can survive 20 hours. But we're talking about human beings.
Totally.
That are, and I really keep thinking about, what does that feel like? The son and father in there.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing that, okay, this could be, we've got 9 more hours to live, whatever it is. What that really feels like in a small contained area, forget the claustrophobic feeling.
Yeah.
But your mind, you are literally gearing up for this could be the end.
Yep.
And what do you do? And you can't reach anyone except who you're with. That's what I've been really thinking about.
Yeah.
A lot.
Would
I ever go on one of those?
Yeah.
So listen, I'm a little bit, a little obsessed with the whole Titanic and all that.
Oh, really?
And yes, I'd like to go down there, but no, I probably would not, because just like I don't want to go to space, I don't want to go 2,000 feet underneath.
Yeah. For me, it's hard no.
Yeah.
I'd watch a movie.
Right. And apparently in this, you were only seeing it on television. You were getting close and you could zoom in. But anyway, again, to go back to the lives, the human beings that are there.
Through, yeah.
And I literally was thinking about, and at what point do you stop holding on to we could get saved? We actually could still get saved.
Totally.
And they still could. I mean, at the very end, they could find them.
Yep.
I don't know enough about the mechanics or what happened. The other thing I'd say, though, is why can you not be connected? I guess I understand it's a small submarine, but why can't you be connected to a boat or some kind of vessel at the...
Yeah, I think there's a lot to look into, but I agree with you. I mean, and I think that's where people are struggling with the coverage too right now, because it's like so timely and sensitive. And I think until we know more information, I don't think.
Yeah. So I think about that. I feel for them.
Yeah. And the people that are the families.
Oh my God. Yeah. Thinking about what that's like. And
totally.
I can't imagine. I mean, what would you say? You're there with your father and a son, and then other people that are friends or strangers. They're really not.
But now becoming your...
And I guess you're just talking about life, maybe sharing your greatest life stories. I mean, you're not just sitting there. Hopefully someone's not having panic attacks.
God.
Yeah. So pretty intense. Pretty intense.
All right. And shifting Airbnb.
Yeah. Oh, we're back to real estate.
Back to real estate.
Yeah.
What's going on here? So basically the city is saying you can't do short-term rentals. I thought that was already
established
that you can't.
I think they're cracking down and you now have to register.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know all the ins and outs of it.
Right. Because I know in a lot of cities, I mean, people invest in properties and that's sort of part of their...
Oh, yeah. That's part of their business plan.
Yeah.
And their rental. Yeah.
But I guess the hotels in New York City don't like Airbnb.
Right, of course not. So I remember when I lived in my first apartment on West 84th Street, I oh my God, I forgot. There was a woman who like ran this business and she'd get short-term tenants. And it was a rental for me. And so I'd rent it if I was going away, like if I was going away for 2 weeks on vacation. And once I was here and they wanted to stay longer, so I just stayed with a friend. And I went in to see the apartment. I had to go in and I called them and they said, we won't be here, just let yourself in. I had to get something from the apartment. And the apartment was such a mess.
Oh God.
Like clearly they were, I don't know what the hell they were doing. So I hung out to see what they were doing. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, they cleaned it up and had a housekeeper in, and so it was good.
No, I think the Airbnb thing is interesting though, because I do think if you're coming to New York City, some people like that.
Feeling of living,
and like living in a neighborhood authentically. It's also really nice, like, you know, even if it's a New York City kitchen, just to have a kitchen.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
there's something that as part of the experience. I like that. That's interesting.
Yeah. So I think,
I mean, I'd opt for a hotel always, but.
Yeah, but there are people
hotels.
that. Yeah.
Yes.
But what if you were doing like a 3-week stay in Paris?
That's different. I'd probably, I would do something like that, or a home in the south of France, of course, something like that, of course. Years ago, I don't remember his name, but there was a gentleman, he had a business because he was looking at one of my properties that he was building a portfolio of super high-end properties to use as rentals. And he bought Frank Sinatra's home in Palm Springs. And he was looking at this apartment, which wasn't owned by a celebrity, but was just really well done.
Yeah.
And chic and, you know, great loft downtown. And that was his business model. It was really interesting.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think people do. And I also think Airbnb makes the experience of coming to New York a little more obtainable. I mean, you look at a hotel room these days and it's like,
yeah, that's true.
You know, a week of hotels could be $5,000.
$5,000.
I'm saying at the low end, like, you know, and then up from there. But
that's right.
It's a little, you know, it's a little limiting of who can do that. So I think the Airbnb provides that opportunity.
Have you ever stayed in an Airbnb?
I'm trying to think. We've definitely rented houses, but I don't think they were Airbnb.
Got it.
But I kind of think there's something cool about it. But I think if I was going for one night, I'd rather just do a hotel.
Oh my God, I love hotels.
Don't we?
Who doesn't want to be pampered? Jeez, my God. My friend Scott Jaffa, whose birthday I think is tomorrow, the next day, his grandmother moved to Hawaii later in life and just lived in a hotel.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And and you know who else did that, I believe? Telly Savalas. Do you know who that is?
No.
Of course you don't. Kojak.
I think
a famous actor.
If you do the math, though, I swear it could be close.
How do you mean? What it costs to living wise and singing. And Elaine Stritch did it. Do you know who she is?
No.
She was a famous performer. Ladies at Lunch. Anyway, so she always performed at the Cafe Carlyle, the hotel. And part of her deal was she had a room there, and that's where she lived.
Good for her. I mean, you can cut out your electricity bill, you cut out your Wi-Fi, you cut out, you know, someone's doing your laundry.
Yep.
You don't have maintenance fees. All right. Back to a little substance. 2023.
Okay. Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. So we're 6 months in. First quarter, for us, first quarter was really strong. You know, we came off a really strong fourth quarter. What do you think about, like, what happened in the second quarter?
I think that, listen, the market turned in general. It just quieted down. You ask anyone.
Yeah.
Lack of inventory. I think people were cooling off after just 2 really strong quarters.
Yeah.
And like you said, I think summer might be a little slower and then we'll come roaring back. And I think it ebbs and flows that way. You have so many people in the market for 2 quarters that makes it strong that it's just a matter of like, the number of people looking, it goes down.
Totally. I also think I think people just, aren't thinking right now about a real estate change as many, mainly because, as you said, the last couple of years have been so busy. And also, you can't avoid these mortgage rates. I mean, people have a 2.8 mortgage. So it's like,
although people have become accustomed, it's the new norm, the higher rates, but you're absolutely right. But also it's important to say that I had breakfast with a good friend of mine who's in LA, and he was saying that how the market, I mean, all the hot markets, all the markets equivalent, New York City, Los Angeles, Miami, Palm Beach, they're all down in terms of inventory and transactions.
But so I think the thing is if you need the bigger place, you'll stomach the 6% mortgage rate. But if you want them, you have to not be concerned with it,
If it's a necessity, you have to do it. You don't have a choice. That's right.
Divorce.
I think for me personally also, the last 3 months, I had 2 major life events, good things, Lily's bat mitzvah, and then, Kirk and I were honored. And so we had this big gala, and we were helping to raise money for that and for the JCC. So 2 major life events, if you will, gearing up, planning, being a part of, that takes a part of, at least it took a part of my energy and Kirk's energy. Obviously, we keep working, we keep going, but I think there's something to be, after the gala was over, I remember thinking, okay, it's back to normal, and I can just, obviously family and friends and all that, but dive back into work, make work my absolute energy priority. Yeah. So
but I think
for me,
that's also a part of real estate. And that's our life as an agent. Like, while you're doing those other things, you're also networking and talking to a lot of people, not talking about real estate, but, so I think
everything feeds on everything.
Energy.
I mean, at least the way we model our business.
Totally.
We don't have our lead generation, our sphere, ourselves. I say it all the time. Our friends become, clients, and our clients become friends.
Right. And I think that's, the summer season for us, I think, is also a very social time. And I think it kind of helps us gear up for the rest of the year. We're out a lot. We're doing a lot these months socially, but whether it's directly related to real estate or not, I think it becomes.
Well, our marketing is ourselves.
Yeah. Last night I was at a dinner for a client. It was someone who I helped buy an apartment, and their designer gave them a dinner party, which I thought was like, what a cool idea.
At
their apartment.
They designed the home.
And the idea was invite 15 friends and have them come see the apartment.
Well, that's brilliant.
Right?
Actually, a really good idea.
Really smart. And it was a lovely dinner party.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So you met lots of
new people. And everyone
people.
saw the apartment.
That's great.
Yeah. And heard that I helped them buy. So
perfect.
That's what we did.
Okay.
But yeah,
they brought in a chef, catered
everything.
It?
We didn't even know what we thought we were just going to friends' houses at this point for dinner.
The client.
Okay, but it was beautiful flowers and candles everywhere. And, normally they serve nice food. This was like
the next
level. Yeah.
And obviously
gifts at the end of the night.
Oh, yeah. What'd you get?
We got little pastries. It was lovely.
Clever.
Yeah, it was a really good idea.
Yeah. We should do that. Every apartment we sell, we can host a dinner at their home.
But yeah, so when we're not like super busy transacting, I think it's also, we're constantly networking and it all.
So here's the key from the perspective of like the team leader, that someone said to me the other day that when things slow down or, there's a lull, it's easy to also go into that energy of your own. And that's when you have to actually be out there more, seeing more people, keeping it going. It's very easy to go into that lull. I do it all the time.
But it's also hard when you're super busy with work to go on the lunches and go on the coffees and, after a full day of showing, go to an event.
We said our greatest marketing and branding is ourselves being out there.
Yeah.
And that they say that when things are slow or the economy goes down or your business isn't doing as well financially, the first thing to go is marketing, when that should be the last thing to go, because that's when you need the most marketing.
But I feel like we've never done that.
We've never taken our foot off the gas with that. That's correct.
Those early days of COVID, we were one of the only people still
putting
having our
it out
marketing
there.
up here.
Yeah. Well, that's what really set it to a new level for us. Yeah.
That's good. All right. So do you believe in summer slumps?
Well, after what I just said, I never believe in any slump.
But everyone's always asking right now about these like
the market
seasonal
people.
selling.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk of the seasonal, the sale seasons, and when's it best to sell. Obviously, traditionally spring and fall. No, you know what? I believe you put a place on the market, you market it well, you get it out there, you price it correctly. Does that mean you're going to sell it immediately no matter what? No, of course not. Yeah. There are going to be, August, I think the stats show that more people are traveling this year, August, than ever before.
Yeah.
So there's something real about that. If most of what we're marketing, those people are in Europe or Asia or traveling outside the country.
No, I agree. And I think people are just thinking of other stuff. But again, when something comes on the market and it looks good and it's priced correctly, it's still going.
Yeah.
It's still moving.
Yeah, things are moving.
I mean, and that's for sure.
Thank God. You know what else has picked up? Out east in the Hamptons, where the rental market was really came to a screeching halt.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, one of our properties is on the market to rent. In the last 5 days, I've gotten 8 calls from 8 different brokers.
Wow.
Reaching out about the property. Yep. All of a sudden, I'm telling you, it's unbelievable.
For like August?
We're getting all different things. Like mid-July through mid-August, will you take 2 weeks?
Yeah.
July, August, all across the board.
So people are last minute,
which we thought would happen, thank God. And now hopefully we'll land one of them.
Yeah.
What about you? Are you traveling out east? What are you doing this summer?
A little bit of both, yeah. We'll be out east and we're going to Italy. So looking forward to that.
When are you going to Italy?
In August.
Nice.
Yeah, first week of August. And then we have a wedding in Park City, which I love.
I love Park City.
Yeah, I love Park City in the summer.
When's that?
Go on the record, I'm not into the winter, but the hiking and all that.
That's beautiful.
It's actually right before.
Got it.
What about you guys?
Mostly here.
Yep.
We'll go to Maine. Lily's leaving for camp this Saturday, so we'll go to Maine for visiting day. End of July. Hopefully we'll see some friends there. And that's it. We've got some travel plans in the fall.
Oh, cool.
Hopefully we'll come together. Yeah.
Stay tuned, everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Big announcement.
We have something different, actually. So anything else, or can we wrap this up?
No, we have guests coming on this season. So
we do have guests.
That'll be coming up soon.
Yes.
Who do you guys want to hear from? Let us know.
I think we should have your mom on.
Oh, really? I'm sure she would love that.
Would she do it?
I don't know. We'll see.
She should be on just with me.
Oh, okay.
All right. So keep tuning in. Share this. You can follow us on Instagram, Stephen Cohen NY.
And I'm Tim P. Malone NYC. Feel free to leave us a review, share, like, comment, and tune in next time for our future episodes of Real Talk. We'll see you guys soon.
And tell us if you want to meet Tim's mom. Goodbye.